Okay, so when we last broke off, we had been defeated, and we woke up in a dungeon, and we had to queue it up. So this is the dungeon. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. Okay, I think we're in real big trouble. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your Godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the right of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, but by my breath I claim you, he says. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Almighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible. By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thy allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art the godless blessed's number, the paragon's wand of thy abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Okay. Enough dancing, fellows. Each time your party is defeated after having a battle and is go grant your advanced strength. We need to be in a flanking position. As long as we stay in a flanking position, we'll be fine. Let's reapply some of that poison. What the hell is this? Okay. Where did it go? Gotta get out of this one. I'm waiting for him to get under 20% health. There we go. And then we can start working on him. We got another crystal. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalj'aa zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. I see the blood swarm wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from the Flame's general handpicked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You've been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Come dry bone, shall we say? Tancred should be ashamed of himself. So that was the mighty Ifrit. Who is this? The leader of the Garlean Empire. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking older interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Olivia, promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I'm troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task that is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. Oh, so Livia is his superior. With allies like that, who needs enemies, right? Beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. This is Nero. Okay, so this is the Garlean Empire is making moves. They're definitely making moves to take back Eorzea. Okay. Okay, so speak with Thancred at Camp Drybone. So we took down one, I'm not sure what this is. Okay, both physical and magic defense are enhanced. Okay. Ah, there you are. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amalj'aa will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds, for once a man is tempered, but it still suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary, on the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Okay, so we need to report to the sign of the 7th Dawn at the Waking Sands. And we need to speak with Fafayoni at Halatali. Let's just take a look at our journal here. I'm gonna abandon this one, I really think I am. Well, alright, we'll see. So, the Waking Sands, I think is in Central Tunneling. It's actually in Western, so it's in Horizon. So let's teleport. Okay, let's go find Minfilia, which will be right through here. We still need to get ourselves a ride. I don't know how we're gonna get a chocobo with something, but we still need to find a way to get one. Who is this? Level 47, so that's a long ways off. A very long way off. The triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join him at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Deft her life. I wasn't there when the Amalj'aa took her prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly, just as I'm failing you all. What is done, Tancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... It's so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Tancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As I suspected, the Amalj'aa undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal, Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Uldar. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. In this coming together or etheric coalescence which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence, as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself are subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with a primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you'll have a nary moment to yourself. You'll have nary moment to yourself, she says. Whether she intended to or not, Minfilia neglected to tell you something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse, but once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Well, that is awful that they have to kill them. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louisoix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better, I have to be stronger. Okay, let's continue the main quest. Minfilia is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Ida and Papalim that the Signs would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I'm given to understand that Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I'm here on behalf of the Maelstrom Grand Company of Limsa said to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Deft, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Deft's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flames should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other Grand Companies? Your reputation precedes you. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learned that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem and that you'll always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the 12th. What a pleasure to finally meet you. My comrades speak of you in their most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs to the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only now sure that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel Limsa Lominster to the shares of glory. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation will help you clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lominster, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I consider it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will of course recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You're as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Deft hear our leaders speak, then return here with her decision. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service. But I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but only one person. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect it to be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the Remember services are due to take place. Okay, let's switch up to a blacksmith and see if we can steal this experience. It will be nice to get that experience for our blacksmith and level up. Sorry about all the attention you're getting. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the Remember services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Gun Company, the Order of the Twin Ada, will hold the first of the 3 services. An Elder Seer Kanisina will deliver her dress at Keto's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Uldar, where Flame General Robaham will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the study room in Nimsalaminster, where Maelstrom Chief will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry vamp there on Hidden Chew. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the Remember services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order. Though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Yeah, I don't think I can complete this one. Alright, attend the Remembrance service at the Amphitheater in Gridania. What's the fastest way to get there? I mean, if we teleport, I think it's gonna cost us a ton of money. Okay, before we move on, we're gonna take a break and we'll be back with more Final Fantasy XIV.